Nerd culture rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd culture rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up
I bet
word.
he don't talk sweet. He ain't got much to say. But he makes flags out of wood. I know that he'll make it for me anyway. And maybe he don't game fine, but I don't really mind. 'Cause every time they stream, I just want to cheer. Let's hear it for the vets. Oh, let's give the vets a hand. I've only got one right now. Let's hear it for my vets. You know, you gotta understand. Oh, maybe they're no Romeo, but they're my loving one-man show. Whoa. Let's hear it for the vets.
I don't
Hear it for
even
the
know.
vets.
I don't even know what to, I don't even know how to follow that.
Welcome to Every
show,
Man's
guys.
Guide to Nerd. we are two 30 to 40 something year olds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
I'm Kyle.
And Kyle is apparently he's inhaled
wasn't-
something.
You guys can also catch us on Twitch. You can see Chris over there streaming under Guyver Unit 1. It's GUYVERUNT01. I stream under K_SIG. And our two fine guests that we have with us also stream from time to time. And we'll let them talk about that if they want to later. But I'm still I wasn't like, you lost me at the beginning. I was like, what the hell is he doing? And then like, oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Here's where he's going with it.
Well, if you didn't catch what we're talking about today, it's vets. We are, and I've got the wrong background because it's not the vets that, like Kyle's used to sticking his fingers in a pig's ass.
Wrong
It
vet.
is actual military veterans. So let me change my picture here.
So we're coming up on a few days, be Veterans Day here in the States, because we do have a few international people. Not that one.
Oh, I got to get this other one. Hold on.
This Chris is working through his backgrounds. We're getting there eventually. This Thursday, November 11th, just a few days away, will be Veterans Day. The show will come out a couple days after.
You come out the following Monday.
But we kind of kicked it around a little bit. We've got a lot of friends that we play with, a lot of family that we know. I know, Chris, you come from a military family. I've got family.
Long line, and then I'm the disappointment. So
yeah,
yes,
we got sad disappointment, Chris. I got my brothers in the military, and then we have some very good friends of ours that decided to join us. Mr. Fly Fishing Vet and BlastedProps BP, his alter ego tonight, BP.
mysterious.
Props has been on the show with us before. This is Vet's first time with us, but he's really gave us a lot of good insight because he also does a podcast. So some really good ideas exchanged back and forth, and just really excited to have both of you guys on here. So thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Long time listener, second time talker.
Well, as you all know, like Kyle was saying, we talk about pretty much anything that anyone geeks out about, and this one's kind of dear to our hearts because Vet and Props, they're good friends of ours, and Kyle, just like he was saying, he just hit this idea, and he's like, "Oh, I got a great idea for a show." I'm like, "Well, run with it. Let's do it."
So I had a decent idea.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea because this isn't the kind of stuff you normally hear, and now we can get the perspective of two actual military veterans who game, who do nerdy stuff, and non-nerdy stuff too, and we get their perspective on it, and so that's going to give a lot of our listeners that insight that they would have never heard before. So with that, we've already talked to Vet and BP before this, and there's not going to be a safe word. If something is something that they're uncomfortable with talking, they're just going to tell us next question or pass. So if you guys hear that, that's
Let me
something that
off.
they don't want to go on. So we just ask in the Discord you respect. If they are passing on it, we just ask that you respect that chove,
Yeah, Chof.
you fucker.
Yeah, chove.
See, there's 3.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, see, there,
Don't-
everyone
don't be that
agrees.
chove.
So, Kyle, you want to kick this off?
Yeah, so just do a little quick introduction, like how we all knew each other, met BP, Mr. Props down there playing some GTA 5 RP about a year and a half ago.
I think it's coming up on 2 years,
It's
man.
coming up on 2 years. So we did.
wow.
It's our 1 year and like week anniversary of doing Phasmo for like a month.
I remember that. Yeah.
Me and Mr. Propster, we streamed a lot of Phasmo together last year when it first came out for a while, and we
Yeah.
played a plethora of games together. I can't
Cornucopious of them.
cornucopious amount of games, and hung out on stream, off stream. I consider him a very good friend of mine. And then we met Mr. Fly Fishing Vet down there through almost a year now.
Just
Like
about.
at around New Year.
Yeah, Hunter, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
when you got in your Call of Duty or Call of Duty, Call the Hunter,
Yeah.
Hunter Call the Wild or
We're
whatever.
doing some Hunter Call of the
is-
Wild, and he popped in and like gave me shit for like 3 days. And like, fuck. All right, well, I guess this guy can hang around. And someone else that I also consider a really good friend of mine. We still talk on a pretty regular basis, and we played some games together too as well. So it's great to have you guys. And if you wanted to give a little intro to yourselves outside of what I just did, and knowing you guys, then feel free, Vet, if you wanted to kick it off.
Sure. Fly Fishing Vet, have my own Twitch channel, same name. Served in the Army, was in a recon unit, and met Guyver and Kasich and Props, crazy enough, through Twitch. Still a cherry red freaking newbie when it comes to gaming, especially when it comes to PC gaming. I think I've been gaming on this thing for less than a year. So I'm still that new guy that has no clue what the hell he's doing in these guys.
We're
are
getting you
messed
there,
up.
though.
You're
Yeah.
still better than Chove.
Yeah, way better
Well,
than Joe.
That's not saying much though.
No,
it's
but,
not, but we're still letting you know so you feel better.
And so,
Chove's gonna be the ass end of all these jokes tonight. I can
Oh,
just-
100%.
But he has to be, because you guys are in the same Discord we are, where he gives us shit
Mhm.
for everything
Yeah.
on the show. So we get
Not
to say it out loud.
Not to mention what goes on in the group message. So yeah, you guys just let him have it.
So we
Yeah,
get to be,
please
we
do.
get to be all like the dirty.
Mhm.
So and I'm just kind of new at it, and it's just like it's been a pretty awesome journey. You guys have helped out tremendously on spending my money on getting things,
You're welcome.
and it's been a blast. I've met some pretty kick-ass people, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is that, all right. Thanks for the friendly transition there, Vet.
And go.
Blasted Props or Blasted, or the newest one is BP. Also streaming on Twitch under the Blasted Props name. Haven't been streaming a lot lately, kind of fell off dealing with other things in life at the moment. Looking to get back into it though. Rejoining the community and everything. I'd say I'm on Facebook, but I dubbed Facebook as toxic cesspool and disabled it. So yeah, other than that.
And you're not wrong.
Mm-mm. No, I've had that thought so many times this week already. Just this week.
Then
Yeah.
you'd miss out on my good posts.
I know. That's the only reason. Like you and my mom. That's the only reason I stay on Facebook. So
You're welcome.
Facebook is like
Or Meta.
such a shit show.
Oh, it really is.
mhm.
But that's how I keep up with like a lot of people now.
And the bad part is it works.
Mhm.
It's just like all my guys that I serve with are still on Facebook. That's our main point of contact. And it's just like that's legitimately the only reason why I'm at Facebook. And it's just like that. And if you're ever wanting to sell or like get promoted,
Mhm.
promotion stuff out there, I hate to say it, it's like a double-edged sword. It works amazing.
Mhm.
And so
Uh,
you just
Facebook
gotta-
is legal stalking.
True.
is what it is, and
That's
it's a
why I
great
don't
way.
disable it.
Like, just cringe.
I love being
Well-
stalked.
You might want to edit that part out.
No, I said I love being stalked. That's
It's
I like-
super.
You might
I-
have started that first. Other
yeah.
than,
Well, yeah. I
hey,
just said
I'm
it
just
out
here
of
for
order.
stalking.
I just
I'm-
like the attention.
Ladies. So let's talk about what years were you guys in the military? Like, what was your length of service? What was the years?
Go ahead, vet.
Mine was April 2004 to April of 2014. Did 10 years. Wanted to do 20. Wanted to full, if not more, but after 10 years, I ended up getting a medical retirement for PTSD and TBI. And they said, you're done. And so I couldn't join the guard or anything. So I had pretty much hit full retirement like you would if you were 65. And so
What is TDI?
TBI is traumatic brain injury
Oh wow.
and stuff. So ended up getting blown up in Iraq a few times, but I got a really big one. Car bomb went off right next to my truck. And ended up, they say that was the trigger for the TBI side. Mine's mainly short-term memory loss, people's names, all that. So I really got to depend on visual. Like I'll recognize somebody's face, but I will not remind their name, remember their name. So stuff like that. It's something my wife loves to make fun of me about, because I remember there's been a few times I'll go down, we'll watch a movie, and then like a week later, like, God, I want to go see that movie. It's just like, you just watched it, and I'll watch it again. It's awesome because I can watch like the same movie 3 times and it'll be like watch it for the first time every single time. So I'm like a cheap date.
So Top Gun is amazing for you then when
Oh,
it comes out every year.
Exactly. And it's just like, that's why I love seasonal movies.
So
It's just
many
like,
issues with Top Gun. And fantastic movie, but there's so many errors.
yeah, it's just like, and that's why I love seasonal movies, because it's like every time Halloween or whatever those movies come out, it's like watch them for the first time, and they'll be like 30 years old and been coming out every year for 30 years, but it's just like the last freaking 5 or 6 years. It's all the same,
Your Hallmark Christmas movies that we all know that you love deeply.
which are not allowed to show in my house until after Thanksgiving.
Good
It's
man.
a rule.
Thank you.
It's a rule.
Thank
Good
you.
man. Yes.
There is no Christmas in our house until after Thanksgiving.
After
Ah,
Thanksgiving,
humbug.
it's, freaking
That's game on. I love Christmas. I love it with passion. It's just like there's no, it's off limits.
You gotta
And
get past
my
Turkey Day
kids-
first.
Yep. Even my kids know. They tell their friends. So it's a very embedded rule in my family.
Of props.
what's up?
How about you? Your service,
Oh,
what brand?
August. I was in the Navy. August of 2004 till April 2014.
Oh, wow. So
But I got off of active duty in 2008 and went reserves. So did US Navy and the US Navy reserves.
Oh.
So yeah.
So one thing that, man, I keep moving. I picked the wrong color shirt for this background. Props already called me out on it. I keep disappearing.
I
Like
think it looks fine. It's very military colored.
it's yellow. What? I don't know what.
It looks kind of drabish. To be
If
honest.
it's yellow, that's Navy. Aren't they flight deck?
Yeah,
Oh, so
high
I'm
vis.
That
Yep.
guy. Okay.
I've got Captain America on my shirt and Captain Marvel. Does that count?
pretty true. Yeah, you got some rankings going there with
Oh, Punisher was in the military. He's on
Yep.
there too.
I mean, to be honest, if there's any comic character that represents the military, I think Punisher's pretty fucking close.
Yes.
Like
100%.
of somebody who's after they've gotten out of the military,
Right.
it's the Punisher.
Let's go on that real quick.
He-
Why?
He's because he's able to do what the rest of us want to do.
Yeah, he's real. It's real. I mean, it's you see all of the, especially with Marvel, you see all these guys like Captain America and stuff like that, and obviously they're a fictional side, but they're say that they're military. But when you see Punisher, the guy comes back, and even if you took out what happened, what initiated his freaking shit show of an amazing drive. It's real. The guy's going through struggles. The guy walks in, you can tell by his demeanor, you can tell by his attitude, and it's like when he
The
walks
way he
in,
carries
he
himself.
presents himself, and you can tell what his mind's, especially if you're in that situation, when your mind's like, even him just walking into a place, he's instantly looking for the exits. He's looking, okay, who's the biggest threat, who's the smallest threat, what route do I need to do, stuff like that. And it's
Well,
stuff
there's
like
not only that,
myself.
you can clearly see it, and there's a few of the actors actually portray this. There's a social disconnect,
Yes.
to be honest, from society. And they talk about reintegration back into civilian life. And some people are able to do it. I'm not able to do that entirely. I will probably forever have a social disconnect to civilian life for the rest of my life. It's just like I have troubles socially connecting with other people since the military. It just is what it is.
Was it a lot easier before the military?
Oh, hell yeah. I was the life of the party before the military.
Same thing.
I could literally walk into a room and fucking just, here I am, and become the life of the fucking party and just fucking have 20, 30 people around me. And now I have troubles leaving my house to go frickin' grocery shopping because I don't want to be around fucking people. I don't want to fucking be within the vicinity of people. I get aggravated when somebody in front of me doesn't walk fast enough.
Like, how can I kick them in the back of their knee to get them out of my way?
Starting a conversation even at that point is a struggle because I don't know what to fucking start talking about.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know you. I don't want to, I don't care. Yeah.
So-
I have time limits in stores
Mhm.
if I go to a store.
You send your wives? Do you guys send your wives if you
Wife and
can?
kids.
If I go with my wife, there is probably about a 20 to 30 minute roughly a time limit, and then I turn around and I walk out.
Yeah.
I've had my fill of people. I've had my fill of the social interactions, and I'll just go out and sit either in the vehicle or by it or walk around. I just
Which is crazy because, and props probably on this, and we might bump on this a little bit later. Gaming community allows me to interact and not lose my mind. And it's like, if we honestly, if we all met in like person, and this is just a military side, I would probably be drawn to props and we'd be able to hold a conversation.
right.
If it was outside of that, I don't even know if I would say hi to anybody that I say hi to on a gaming community, because I wouldn't necessarily, and it's not me being, well, it is me being a dick, but it's just like, I don't want to spend that much time to know anybody else outside because I just don't care. And it's just because that's just my mindset. I'm here to do a thing. I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to get out. Now, if we met now, of course, I would sit down and I would have a beer with all you guys and we'd have a conversation. But if it was,
But not new people.
yeah, if it wasn't for the gaming community, me meeting you prior,
Mhm.
I probably wouldn't even, I'd never say hi to you in a bar. If I even go, I don't go to bars, but even if I did go to a bar,
That's really good practice, just not to talk to Guyver in a bar, really,
yeah,
and just in general.
it'd probably be
You're not
pretty
wrong.
safe.
You're not wrong.
And so,
But
but I mean,
tell you how
that's-
pretty you are.
that's my concept on it. And it's just like, I don't communicate a lot outside. My circle is very, very small. And I've noticed it's gotten much bigger now that I've gotten in the gaming community because I've had conversations. I met guys like you. I'm able to comfortably regulate my time with communicating with certain people. And if you go outside your house, you can't do that because they're fucking staring you in the face.
You can't Alt F4 and get rid of them.
Right? I can't be like, oh,
Network
I'm seeing you.
Choose right.
So-
Nah,
Do I need to have Lily make you guys shirts that say Alt F4 on the back, so when you don't want to talk to people, you just turn around and walk off? I can make that happen.
I kind of want one of those.
You
Yeah, I
make
bet.
EGTN Alt F4 shirts.
I'm kind of here for it.
We should definitely set that up. There should
I
be
don't
some
hate
kind
it.
of technique.
Let me work on that. I bet I
Something,
can
or
do
like
that.
this conversation is over as you walk
Yeah.
away, or something. You know.
Alt F4. Alt F4.
Your mom should have alt that for you.
That's awesome. So, as you guys were hearing there, Legion banner, don't piss off vet.
Oh, that's a whole different story in itself. Dude, because me, Legion and Banner have been gaming buddies for over 10 years, which it was weird. I mean, my gaming side started with Xbox.
Right.
And it's just like I've been a huge Xbox fan. I mean, and it was kind of weird. I don't even remember how we met. I remember we were playing Bad Company 2 is when we first linked up. I met them through other people that I played that game with. And it seems like we've always just stuck around. I mean, it's just like, and it's weird because it's been like, they're like family. I've met Banner in person. We live pretty close together. When I moved back from New York to Oregon, we finally were able to link up, and I've never physically met Legion, but I'm just like, we talk all the time, we chat, and so they're definitely an extended family, which is kind of crazy that I never thought that the gaming community would do that. And I never thought that would be an option. I figured it's just gaming, seeing guys online, you're kind of like whatever. But then you realize that you spend way too much time with them, and way more time than you ever thought you would with another dude.
But is that not like one you talking about meeting Banner, your buddy
Yeah.
Banner in person? Like, is that not one of the coolest feelings when you have a friend that you've met online through gaming, Twitch, whatever, and like you guys get to meet up and hang out in person I've had that happen. I've got to experience that a couple of times myself, and that was just such a cool thing that, like you see these people in person, and it's just like you've been friends for your whole life. Like, it's not some weird, awkward Match.com meetup. Like, it's
I've had weird Match.com meetups with people I worked with.
It was with Banner. It was awesome. The first time we ever met in person, he was actually cruising through. And I was like, hey man, you're coming through. Why don't you stop on by? He swung by, he had dinner, we freaking I let him stay at my place, and he crashed on the couch, and we got to hang out, and
didn't murder you, which is a plus.
yeah. And so I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have made it through the first step.
I was about to ask, are you sure he didn't murder him? Then I'm like, oh no, wait, he didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
it's just like as the people that watch the video, they can see on the wall. We have close range and long range. It's,
He's talking about flags. Everyone, flags. Flags on the wall.
Flags.
Right.
But it was really cool because it was just like it wasn't like meeting another friend, but it was really cool to be able to put a face, be able to physically see somebody, because like now, I mean, we see everybody now, and we all this, but when you actually get to physically see somebody, sit down and have a beer with them, it's a whole different story. And it's
Mentioned Legion and Banner are really good dudes.
Mhm.
They're fun to watch. They're fun to talk to. Kyle and I gave Banner shit last night on Kyle's stream about his farming techniques and his questionable farming techniques with his tractor.
Lots of plowing a field jokes. So
yeah, lots and lots of plowing the field
yeah.
jokes, and fuck you, Guyver, immediately. So they're good dudes, and it's really cool that you're able to find a connection through online gaming like that. It's really cool. And so, Kyle, I think we should move up the gaming is the coping mechanism up, since we're basically here.
Yeah, we can get that's there's one thing I want to hit before that, but I'll move that up. And
Move
we
that
can
up, and then we'll go
transition
from
to
there. Go ahead.
it. Just sitting here talking, and I didn't really have this thought when we put this together, but guys our age, so we're all guys and gals, we're all pretty close to the same age. That's 4 here. And I just remember from knowing, friends personally, and just talking with people like we're probably like the first generation of, or you guys would be the first generation of military people that like had consoles and things on deployment in places that, like
Oh,
that
yeah.
wasn't a thing before. And
Fucking
so
Halo tournaments on the mess
Dude,
decks.
Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six was ours. I remember coming in from mission, and we had these chews, which are pretty much just either small little mobile home type contractor homes or tents. And you would see Cat 5 cable, like literally probably like 6 inches thick of just wadded Cat 5 cable going from each and chew, and then having like a master switchboard and everybody's Xbox hooked up to it. And it's just like we all were linking up, we were all interlinking. But yeah, and it's just like I never really thought about that. It's just like we probably are like the first generation style that were shooting people in the face through different freaking video games and in combat.
So did you have that kind of that same experience, BP? We ain't used to saying that.
Well, yeah, more or less. We'd be on deployments out to sea for months at a time, and they would host freaking tournaments on the ship. And it got so fucking competitive that we built teams, and like people would fucking go out and buy their own controllers, and the military would supply all the Xboxes, and we'd have Halo tournaments and Rainbow Six tournaments. And
But the military supplied the Xboxes?
Yeah.
Were they more expensive when the military
It
bought
was-
them?
Well, I actually
they always
probably
go to the
not.
cheapest bidder.
Lowest bidder.
Okay.
Everything's done with the lowest bidder. So
They were just X's.
Yeah.
right,
Two people had a box and you had to get together.
right, absolutely. Cardboard
drew the
box
X
with an
with a
X
magic
drew
marker.
on it. Yeah. It was put on with was it the MWR put it
Yeah.
on?
That's
So-
really cool, though.
But yeah, I mean, I don't want to brag, but my team did fairly well every time.
Very nice.
Little humble brag.
Very nice.
You can brag as much as you want. If you guys haven't seen Props play,
Fucking dual SMGs in Halo, come on. That
if you
shit
haven't
was
seen Props
fucking
play a
brutal.
first-person shooter, he's
Nope.
pretty damn good.
I don't know about all that, but
Get back on some Splitgate.
oh man.
And then old habits fire back up when you
Yeah. We'll have to play. We'll have to play some offline.
we'll have to get some private lobbies going.
Yeah,
And release all that out.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, this shit talking got real fast.
It's like 30 seconds. Like it didn't take very long at all. Like,
That's
hey, you
like
want
riding
to
a bike.
play this game? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, but yeah, okay.
Why is Guyver
Like, we're-
crying off,
we haven't even
off
got
on
out
the
of the lobby
camera?
yet.
Why we can hear him in the next room?
We're not even in a match yet, and he's already okay. So
We're not even in a match.
let's carry on from that a little bit. So you guys talking about like on deployment and having that, and
But
Yeah.
yeah, I imagine before that it was what pretty much any other night or whatever, that you were on deployment or whatever got together. It was playing cards and dominoes and stuff like that.
just the evolution of the downtime.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's, and I think that kind of rolls in pretty good. Something we're going to talk about later, but I like Guyver's idea of moving that up. I was personally curious about gaming just as a coping mechanism, and I guess this could be twofold since we were just talking about while you're active and while you're on deployment as something to do, and you're comparing it to the guys back in the day playing cards and dice, domino, and all that. And
Yeah.
so during deployment, and then and Vet hit it on some as post deployment, once he got out and meeting with people. And I mean, is that something, do you guys view it that way? Is it just part of the day-to-day thing, or is it kind of a subconscious thing, like I just need to go do this to disconnect from everything else for a little while?
Well, I think that will probably extend on this. Even in the military, those nights where you just get the downtime and you pick up a game and play it. It's literally, yeah, it's an unwind. It's to disconnect from the military at that point in time. And it helps you not think about what it was that was currently happening outside of your tent or outside of, the mess decks is where we did a lot of our stuff at. But yeah, it was just like to be able to disconnect from that lifestyle and to kind of have, like that back home buddy kind of feeling for a couple hours a night. If you got that, it's definitely a coping mechanism for sure.
Oh, 100%. And it really was. It was that no matter how bad the day got, no matter what happened throughout the day, you were able to hit the reset button when you came in and grab that controller.
Yeah.
It gave you an opportunity, like you said, to clear your head. You didn't give two shits what happened beyond the screen that you're looking at, the controller and the headset you're wearing. Who cares? Because nothing else matters right now other than just having fun and to be able to have that reset. And even when you get out, it's similar. For me particular, when I got out, I couldn't really have downtime. My mind was always triggering. When you're going 100 miles an hour for a living, and then all of a sudden somebody throws the freaking brakes, and then there's nothing, doesn't mean that your mind and body shuts down either. And so for me to be able to, when my wife went to work and my kids went to school, instead of me sitting there in an empty house and doing the typical freaking, I'm just going to drink and watch Netflix and chill and do nothing in my life. You get it like a mental satisfaction of being able to play a game and either beating it or being on a decent team and winning that match. And it was just, it's addictive. And it's soothing, it's relaxing. And that's what I kind of use it as therapy. It was able to me, instead of sitting there doing the whole, oh, what is me thing, and taking, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, taking the typical road of becoming an alcoholic or going to do drugs or doing that, because I couldn't work because I was on Social Security and retired, because that would take away money. And I knew I couldn't hold a job down just because I don't deal with civilians very well. It gave me kind of a sense of purpose a little bit to play that game, and it gave me a sense of relaxation, and I was able to to use that through whatever game I was playing at the time. And so it's definitely therapeutic.
For sure.
Thought I had something to add to that, but I don't. So go ahead, Kyle.
Okay. So we were talking about coping mechanism, and like I'm looking at this and seeing what you guys have done, and just knowing what I know about you guys. Seeing that once you got out and playing, so that's the coping mechanism that's getting you, that's like your therapy, like you said. You guys took it another step and decided to tackle streaming as well.
Which is not an easy thing to do for
anybody. Would you say that kind of fell in the same, like I think there's a lot of things that we can talk about with streaming and veterans, either, with the coping and interacting with people in a totally different way than you would just playing a game, to seeing there's a lot of veterans that stream. There's a lot that you can obviously tell when you pop into their stream, there's a veteran, that they are a veteran. There's several that you wouldn't know unless they said something. You guys could probably pick up on it pretty quick. Was streaming just that kind of next thing? Was it just another thing to tackle, another challenge, or just like, fuck it, I'm bored, let's do this?
I got suckered in because of you guys.
A long lead up for that answer. All right,
You're
so
welcome.
On my aspect, because I'll start it off, because Props probably have more to say than I will because he's been doing it longer. To be truthful, and a lot, and you probably won't hear this from a lot of other guys. They'll probably be like, "Oh, I'm just doing it." When we say as a vet like myself, and I'm only speaking for myself because I don't know everybody else's story. When I say, hey, I hate being social with people. I hate being around people. I hate talking with people outside of gaming. But I'm still human. I enjoy human contact. I enjoy conversations.
No, humans are social creatures.
Yeah. And I don't know necessarily how to do that very well outside if I just open my door. But if I open the door and stream, I'm able to do that. I'm able to get that interactions. I'm not looking for, honestly, when I stream, which I'm probably a little different than everybody else. I do it because I enjoy seeing what people are doing, how they're doing it, to get ideas. Because my streaming is a little different than, well, me and Props are kind of alike, but my streaming is a little different than you and Guyver's, due to the fact that I'll do gaming and I do the woodworking side. And majority of the time, you guys have seen in the woodwork, I don't talk. I mean, I'm either carving or doing this stuff, but I love seeing the interactions in between that's going on in the chat. And my passion for what I'm doing, I think overrides, I guess, the fear of linking up with people that I want to share, because I enjoy sharing it. I didn't think I would, but I was kind of surprisingly enjoyed when I started streaming, sharing my work, sharing the skill set that whatever I was doing, whether it was a game or whether even if it was just woodworking or just sitting back and chatting. I think that was a big thing with me, is just sharing that enjoyment and sharing that whatever I was doing on my aspect, which was way I was not expecting, which is totally different from my side. I would have never thought that I would be streamer. I would never thought and shit, even podcast or any of that, because
Especially at our ages.
Well, fuck you guys. I'm like older than all you guys.
I know. Like, speak for yourself, Guyver.
You're only
it-
like 6 months
it's-
older than me.
Well, how old are you?
Me and Props still got some virility left in us. I mean, grouping us together with you two.
Are you guys all
Yeah.
below 40?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
Guyver's not.
So I just turned 42 in August.
And Guyver's
Shit.
junior class went to go see Top Gun the day it was released in theaters. So
Fuck, I saw Alien in the theaters.
Well,
Not
yeah,
Aliens.
the original.
The original.
I remember sitting back, my first movie, or one of the first movies, I remember sitting back and watching Back to the Future in the drive-in.
Damn. So just found out I'm older than Vet.
Are you?
Yep.
By a lot? By a little?
No, just a little.
By a couple months?
Yep.
Okay.
Just
So-
barely. Just a smidgen.
Well, good. Now I'm not the old guy.
I'm as
What?
Eh?
Actually, that's kind of funny because
I'm the youngest guy here. Shows by the baby face.
Because you just shaved. I'm really disappointed too. But you know,
you're welcome.
Gandalf, you leave him alone.
I shaved before he did.
he's not much younger than I am. But he is younger.
Partly shade because of, well, veteran.
Yeah. I shaved before he did, though.
That struggle.
Well, Vet, I will tell you, your streams, like where you're doing your woodworking, the flags, are some of the best streams, some of my favorite streams that we watch. Lily gets mad. She's been mad lately because you haven't been doing it. She goes, it is just so therapeutic and calming watching him do it. Like, he doesn't say much, but she goes, it is just, you just like to watch it and you just get relaxed. And it is just so much fun to watch the process. I go, I agree. I go, that's my problem, is I get so relaxed because Vet normally streams when it's my bedtime. And then I'll start watching. Next thing I know, I have my phone on my chest or propped up and he's still going and I've fallen asleep and I just roll back over on my phone. But it's a great stream. Like, if Props did streaming with his maker stuff, like building like costumes or, like the weapons, I would watch that in a heartbeat. Just because you guys are so good at what you do.
And honestly,
money.
you guys will be the first one to know. That's kind of where mine is at. With the price of lumber going up right now, it's kind of forced me into a different route, which you guys will see upcoming. I just got done making my wife a really nice cutting board. And so there are going to be different things coming in just because of where wood prices are. I've got to kind of adapt because it's not cheap to make those flags. And so I've really tried to set up what I can do instead of just making a flag and having it sit there and all that. Because everything I use for either Twitch or the flags or the woodworking side goes back into it. I've never made any money off it. All gets dumped right back into the company. But if I'm sitting there making a whole crap load of flags and nobody's buying them, then I'm just burning money. So I'm trying to figure out more things too, because I enjoy this skill set that, not to get all freaking, I enjoy the skill set God allowed me to have, and I want to share it with others, because I think right now in the world nowadays, skill set and trades are rare and all that. Everybody's getting used to having a computer do it for them or not having that hands-on. And so if I can spend a little bit of time and do certain things on my lives, like woodworking or carving or stuff like that, or what Props does, his amazing skill set, I think that needs to be shared more and stuff like that, because I think that's really important and stuff. But it's come along. We're going to be getting into a lot more this month on my channel between the woodworking and all that stuff. So don't everybody go away, because it's more's coming and cooler stuff's coming, because I got some really killer ideas.
So you'll be streaming a lot more coming up.
I will.
Cool. Lily will be happy.
Oh shit! Now I got to pull the trigger and get back into it.
Nudge you along. Well, talk about when you were hitting it pretty heavy for a while.
Me, I think I hit it heavy for probably almost close to 2 years straight.
Yeah.
But I mean, life happened.
Mhm.
Life always happens, and
As it does.
to be honest, if I am not a husband and father first, I have no right streaming. So streaming took the back burner. My
Right
Twitch
priorities,
community,
though.
yeah, my Twitch community went to the back. It's on the back of the bus at the moment, and that's just the way it is. I got to be able to provide and be there for my family. So,
which I give you mad respects. Being a dad, and I know most of us are, that's an easy route not to take. It's easier to sit back and be like, oh, I'm just gonna go stream. They've got it. No, it's so it's just like I have mad respect for you for doing that, because there's enough people out there that aren't doing that.
Same.
yeah, it's a struggle, especially well, just this last month, I was flying solo. Mama was gone. She was out to sea, married into the military, so I'm still dealing with Uncle Sam.
Can't get away.
And yeah, so I just had to change up my priorities, and I mean, I'll always put my family first before anything else. So,
Which is completely admirable.
Mhm.
And mad props to both of you.
man, props,
Um,
props, yo.
Mad props to props.
Did you hit Admiral and Props in the same line of? Good job.
Yeah.
I know that
And
wasn't
which-
intentional.
I'm fucking ranking up here.
There you
No.
go.
But
and,
let's-
and with that can be scary, because especially when you get into the streaming world, because it's like people look at it like, oh, I've got to stream Monday and Wednesday or whatever, and I've got to do this and I got to do that. And then as a viewer of all you guys, I don't come on and click on Twitch and expect you guys to stream. And I think that's what people need to realize, that there's such a line out there. People forget that streamers are human. They have lives outside of Twitch and YouTube and all this other stuff. And they need to understand that if there's some downtime, there's a reason behind there. It's not that we don't love streaming. It's just that our families and our priorities might not be that. I mean, there's our people out there that their income is Twitch. So it'd be like waking up and going to work every morning, which I give them mad respect, because I don't know if I could do that. I don't
Hard
know
to
if I have
do.
enough. Yeah. It is a brutal consequence, because if you miss one day, unfortunately, in the world that we live in, somebody's going to call you out, and somebody's going to do that. And if you want to be up there to the point where you're making money, you've got to take that consequences. And unfortunately, if you're married and you have kids, or if you're not married and you have kids or whatever, if you have any family outside of that realm, they're the ones that get the consequences. And so when somebody comes up and says, I choose my family over this, I get mad respect for that, because it's just, there's too many people out there that's not doing that.
I kind of want to, you guys brought this up, so I kind of want to ask you two about this specifically. I don't care about Kyle.
Okay. Fair enough.
How do you balance, how does your experience in the military, everything that you went through, you guys say that you have a problem with being out in public with people. It's not your favorite thing.
Sure as
How
hell
does
ain't.
how does that interact, or how does that translate with your family too? Like, do you find that since you were in the military, like your patience is a little, you have a little less patience? So like something, let's say that your kid did that, like let's say for Kyle and I,
not treat them like a soldier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how do you separate that? Is it,
Well,
is it
sometimes you don't.
hard?
The transitioning between dealing with the military and then dealing with your family is, once you leave the base, your ship, your camp or whatever it is, you have to transition to family man, and you got to remember that your family are not your subordinates. You don't talk at them, you don't talk down to them, you talk to them. And it's sometimes people struggle with that transition, being able to switch that on and off. It's a struggle. And no offense, my wife has done it a few times. She leaves the ship, she comes home, and I feel as if she talks to me like I am one of her, subordinates or junior sailors. And I have to remind her.
Yeah, there's a
But-
lot of reminding.
Yeah, but at the end of the day is, she's still my wife, or that's still my son, and I love him. That's
Yeah.
just all there is to it.
It was harder when I was in and active. A lot of times I didn't shut it off. My wife would have to call, and I'm just being brutally honest. I was a very aggressive NCO, and the nice thing is my kids are small enough to where I can mentally accept that. You don't yell at kids like that. Now that I'm out, and like my kids are 16 and 19, I mean, for being brutally honest, my boy gets a blunt end of it sometimes, because there's expectations as a man trying to teach a young boy to be a man, and after 10 years of locking in what you're supposed to be doing, it's hard to shut that off. And there's expectations I expect of him that I catch myself looking at, like, I can't teach him like I would one of my Joes, because it's not a life or death situation. I mean, my job was life or death. We're not going over here to win hearts and minds. We're going over here to get a job done. And then we all depend on each other coming home. And so there's times where my wife's had to pull me still. I mean, to be like I said, to be totally honest with you guys, just a couple weeks ago, I ripped into my kid for something that I probably shouldn't have ripped into him that much for. It's kind of stupid. Well, it wasn't stupid, but there's definitely a better route. I should have came in as a dad instead of like an NCO. But for me, I only know one way to get my point across when it needs to get across. And if you've ever messed with an NCO, there's one way. He's going to get in your face and he's going to tell you exactly what you need to hear.
And for you people listening, NCO is non-commissioned officer, by the way.
Yeah. And so I tend to catch myself doing that. Now, has it gotten better? Yes. Through with the help of my wife and all that, she's shown me, and I've caught myself now that I'm seeing where I need to stop. And I've been out a little longer now, so it's not necessarily wearing off. It doesn't ever go away. You just learn how to adapt and become a family man. I went in with my daughter being 2 years old and my son was born while I was in. I spent very little time with both my kids when I was in. Probably, I think we estimated out of the 10 years I was in, I was probably home maybe 2.5, 3 years. Like I met my son in Portland airport. I wasn't there when he was born. I was in Iraq actually on a mission. Came home for 7 days and then gone for a year. Wow. So I didn't even see the first year, really him growing up. And so for me to be dad, I didn't really become a dad until I got out, to be honest. Wow. And it was like thrown in my lap. And so trying to learn how to be a dad, trying to learn how to talk to your children, I learn every day is a learning experience. And it's frustrating because now both of my kids are 19 and 16, and in your back of your mind, you hope to God it's not too late to be a dad. And you hope you can do your best, and they understand, but you still feel bad because you wish you would have been more of one sooner, because there's so much stuff that you missed. I mean, I missed his first walk. I missed him potty training. I missed all of this through both kids. And now I'm trying to build a relationship, and I see the relationship they have with their mom, and I want that, but it comes with time and stuff. So, but yeah, there's definitely a difference, and there's definitely a fine line of that you've got to be aware of. And thank God my wife's called me out on it, because if you're not called out on it, you don't know. Yeah. And you won't know to change, and won't know what triggers that you need to watch out for that change and stuff. So,
way to bring down the whole room with that question, Kyle.
It was good. It was good. I mean, I commend. I mean, like just a couple things to throw on the end of that. One, being able to recognize that, like you guys have been able to recognize that, military or no, that's great. That you can,
for any person
that you can recognize it. And then, I just kind of want to hang on something that Bet said there at the end. You have that fear of, is it too late to be a dad? Is it too late to do this? Is it too late to do that? Like, you're not alone in that fear. Like us that weren't in and that were there from the beginning till now, like still have that fear. It's I don't think it's ever too late. So you just keep
100%.
plugging away.
And
I think you're doing great.
And I will say something
second,
that Props will probably agree with me, and my wife can agree. My wife's an Army brat. There is, whether they agree with it or understand it at all, there is definitely a difference between civilian kids and military kids, especially ones that have grown up like on post, or in active service. Now, if you're National Guard, no disrespect to the nasty girls of the reserve, got mad love for them, but when you're active and that's your lifestyle, and the kids are going to school like on post, and it's a different world, and so the kids are different. They're a little, I would say, it's even mean for me to say, they're a little tougher kids. They're a little more thick-skinned because they understand the concept.
Yeah, they have to pick up their life every 3 years and start over.
Exactly. And it's just like, I got lucky enough, spent my full 10 years at the same base, which is pretty rare in the military. But it's just like their life's different. I mean, it's just they live a whole different. I mean, it's unless you know, if you know, you know. It's one of those things, and so you can definitely tell the difference if you know what you're looking for between a military kid and a non-military kid, and stuff like that. So I think it's them being a little thicker skinned too, helps to be able to with the adjustment. And because my boy, I mean, there's times I've ripped into him and I'm like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have talked to him like that. He's not one of my Joes. I can't just be like NCO him and make him do push-ups, which may or may not have happened.
Can neither confirm nor deny that.
But it's just like there's that fine line, and so I will give props to, I mean, to military kids. I mean, it's a whole different aspect. It's my wife's one, and I can tell that she grew up a lot different on that side. Her dad was an E7, which is the rank above I was, and it's like I said, it's just a different little breed of rugrats, I guess.
Yep. All right, nice segue into the next topic.
Where were we? We went from streaming, we bounced around, and we're going to bring it back in. This is something I've, been playing games online. That's pretty much as long as you've been able to play games online. Do you guys have any experience? Like, I've seen the groups out there, and I've seen the web pages and the forum posts and all that of, different groups of vets playing together. Clans and guilds and things like that. Do you guys have any experience with that? If you do, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter.
As far as those groups, I can't really say I've had like groups that I've gotten together with and played with. But I mean, if my console still worked, I fried that like a couple years back. Hence why I'm PC gaming again. I just don't want to buy a new console. But when I did console game, a bunch of my buddies still play on console. They still play on Xbox. They still play on PlayStation. And I could fire it up and instantly jump in with them on any freaking game that they're playing, which is usually like a Modern Warfare or a Battlefield game, and just instantly get right into it. And
Crossplay is getting better, so you'll be able to do that again. Like, you could do that now with some things.
probably, yeah. But I mean, I know there's communities out there of veterans and groups. There's gotta be.
Community for
because
everything.
There's
yeah.
there's literally community for everything. So
I know there's communities out there. I've been invited to them. I'm just the kind of guy that I don't want to be categorized, and not saying it they're all, look at me, I'm the veteran community and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. It's brothers and sisters playing with brothers and sisters. They're gaming, they're building a community, they're building an outreach program. It's kind of like counseling for them. But I just don't want to be targeted. It's like, to me personally, just totally honest, I don't care if somebody knows if I'm a veteran or not. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to be like, look at me, I want fucking thank me for my service or whatever like that. And so I just don't go down any routes that would possibly tag me in it. Now, it's probably totally hypocritical, because if you are watching this live, you're going to see my room, you're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But this is all for my podcast, but I really don't. I mean, yes, I'm proud of my service. Yes, I'm proud of the heroes that I served with, but I don't necessarily think that I'm a hero. I just went in and did my job and doing my thing. Nothing against those communities though. Those communities are amazing. They're therapeutic. They have had people's backs. They've saved lives, whether people know it or not. They have, and they're absolutely amazing. I've just chosen not to go that route because that's just not my personality.
Ain't that pretty good? Now,
Clark's
now
a dick, dude. He just fucking bitches and moans, and he's just it's a Debbie Downer.
we get to do this little next line of stuff. This, I don't know if this would be like considered the fun stuff or not, but this is stuff that a lot of people debate back and forth. And some people that have like zero business debating it back and forth will still debate some things back and forth to no end on these. And since we're really still hitting heavy on gaming inaccuracies and accuracies, games that get it right, games that get it wrong. You know, the first game that comes to mind where that I hear, like I said, I've got no skin in the game to say they get it right or they get it wrong or whatever. It's just, you know, what I hear from playing the game and hearing from the community. You know, one of the games I hear that gets it as right as you can get it is a game like Squad, or, you know, if you're going historical, Hell Let Loose, as far as tactical and teamwork and things like that. That's not over the top exoskeletons and jetpack Call of Duty, but like
They killed
What-
zombies.
All right. Okay.
zombies. So what do you guys think? Like, let's start with what gets it right. What ticks those little boxes like that? You know, good or bad gets it right. It gets it right.
Okay. First of all, Call of Duty, when it first was out, Call of Duty was a fantastic game.
Mhm.
Just in itself, it was a great game. But
Storming the
I-
beaches of Normandy and
Or
yeah,
two.
that-
and after I want to say Modern Warfare 2, maybe Black Ops, like I was just like, I'm fucking done with this game. And now it seems that they're producing a game every year, and it's just whatever at this point. It's just ridiculous. I tuned in to watch somebody play Warzone, and it was just nothing but your loadouts and sliding around corners and canceling your slides and shit. And it's just another frickin' PUBG or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. It's just another battle royale aspect. A game that doesn't get talked about a lot and you no longer see them are the Medal of Honor games.
Mhm.
The Medal of Honor franchise was superb. They always kind of went off a little bit off the rails on some of the stuff, but I mean they did talk about a lot of the things, like in Rising Sun, you went after what's his name's gold. I forget
Oh,
the Japanese guy in his gold.
yeah. I remember talking about it. I can't remember his name.
But like the opening scene for Rising Sun was the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
Mhm.
And playing that for the very first fucking time, it was like, holy fucking shit. This is probably about as real as it's gonna get for somebody reliving that experience. Cause it was pretty fucking intense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fucking brutal for an opening scene.
Mhm.
I never as much played Squad.
I
have
still want to
played-
play Squad with you guys, like so bad. You have no
I have
idea.
I have played Hell Let Loose,
Similar.
and I played that actually with We Found the Body and a couple of his community members. And as
Digla.
far as like a communication standards go and everything, and then I found out that it actually has bullet drop, bullet mechanics, was just fucking mind blowing. You're getting shot, you can't really quite tell where you're getting shot from unless you actually see the bullet traces. The communication, like you got different platoons and each platoon has a platoon leader and they have to communicate with the company commander, and the company commander is dropping your supplies, and it's just a very communicative, like if you're not communicating, you're not gonna fucking win.
And this is
And it's
Hell Let
just-
Loose.
Yeah, it's literally freaking, 60 versus 60 or something like that. And if nobody's communicating, it's 60 people running around with like fucking their heads cut off.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. So games I purposely avoid, Call of Duty. 'Cause fuck Call of Duty.
How would you compare like the realism of both of you being vets? Like, let's say the mechanics in Battlefield, the Battlefield's like Battlefield 1, like with the sights and the drop, the bullet drop, with like Hell Let Loose. How would you compare the two of those? Fairly
Well,
good.
It's they're kind of hard because you're looking at two different eras.
Yeah.
With mechanics of weapon and all that. I haven't played Hell Let Loose, but hopefully I'll be able to get it here soon and play that because I am interested in that.
Yeah. Hell Let Loose is more World War II based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fighting.
you're looking at like the M1s, the grease guns, stuff like that, and so
It's
the
the
bullet
worst.
drops are different. The
It's
new
worst.
ones,
It's the worst because you're in a gunfight and all of a sudden your enemy hears ka-ding!
yep. Oh yeah, it's an amazing sound, but
He's
it
out.
sucks when you're out in
Yeah.
public. But with like, I'm a huge Battlefield fan,
Mhm.
and I'll probably end up getting the new one just because I've gotten every single one since Bad Company. I like their aspect. A lot of it's knowing quite a bit about like long guns and stuff like that. I like the bullet drops. I like the impact stuff. I'm always, when me and Props play games, another game that I really enjoy that gives probably one of the most frustrating but true aspects of like some kind of warfare is like Wildlands and Breakpoint. Those are literally two of my favorite games. And Breakpoint just came across an aspect where you play ghost mode and it's one life. And that's what I love. I mean, it's realistic. You gain all your stuff up too, but if you die, you lose everything and your character starts completely back over again, which can be frustrating as hell.
Which
play some
apparently
Wildlands with you.
which apparently I was playing in prior to joining up with that.
And so but it's another squad game. You can have up to 4 people in there. It doesn't matter where you are at in your mission or your storyline, you could always link up with each other. And to me, that's important. I love being able to have multiplayer. I think when you start getting into games like Squad, Arma, stuff like this, it's hard for me to get into those sometimes because you get in there and you get guys that get big heads. Oh, I've got the commander position, and they have no clue what the hell they're talking about. And it's just like, I think if you're gonna have these opportunities, then you need to have the right place in the right position. And so having a 10-year-old in a commander position trying to tell me to maneuver across and he has no clue what the hell he's doing is going to annoy me more than it is going to be able to enjoy the game. And so that's why I think I've really never opened that, because although they're tastefully done and I love the aspects of what they can do, I think because of how open the gaming world is, I don't know if I would be able to enjoy it. Because there's too many people out there. I don't want to say they're wannabes or freaking has-beens, but some people, when they get a name slot like either their commander or whatever, they'll let it go their head and they'll just play stupidly, like non-realistically. And if I'm trying to play a realistic game, I want to make sure that I have the best setup that I can, because I lived it. And I think that's, you'll see a lot of, not dissing anybody else veteran, but you see a lot of combat guys, they're going to go do their job in a video game, they're going to want it set up like how they trained or how they had it.
Yeah.
And they're not going to accept anything less. Like
That
if
makes
I had
sense.
an amazing team when I went in. If I'm going to jump into that game, I am not going to mix well, and I'm not going to enjoy it if I don't have a team that's going to be equal to my knowledge or more.
Would you say that's because you're hardwired from your military experience?
Yeah, that's life now. If I'm ever going to be in that situation, I'm going to make sure that my team's stacked. And so, and I think
Well,
that's
yeah.
what's frustrating. Like if we get squad, because Casey wants to play squad with us, it's probably going to be one that you can't stream.
I was not planning on it unless until we had a
Yeah,
couple of
Yeah.
run throughs.
Yeah,
Like,
until we get
me
some,
and Props have played
like,
off stream, like, and we just dicked around in the training level or whatever it was for a long time. Like, we should get into a real game, and all we did was like for 2 hours play peekaboo and shoot each other. Like, no, let's really see how these weapons work. Okay, bing.
Yeah,
Shit.
and that's how I play. Me and Props have played Breaking Point, and so he knows. Even in those games, I use everything to my tactical advantage. It comes down to how we move, who we shoot, sink shots, freaking. If we have to take a compound, where are we going in at? What is our entry point? What is our extra?
Where's the
exit
radio
point?
guy?
Yeah.
Where's
Who's
the
Overwatch?
highest elevation that we can get? Is it nighttime or is it daytime?
Exactly.
I mean,
I played with you guys, and you hid your frustrations with me very well. Like, I sensed them; they were there. I knew it was happening, but
yeah, and it's like I tend to, if it comes anywhere near my realm, I tend to be very technical about it. If those technical parts don't get filled, I can get very frustrated with it. And I don't want to take that out on anybody, so I just don't enter myself in those.
Better to avoid than
or
get yourself in the situation.
or again, it's as easy as Alt F4 and
Oop, we're gone.
oops, my game crashed. Sorry guys, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, gone.
Well, I think Tarkov would probably check a few good boxes. If
Never
you're just
played it.
If you're a gun guy, I'm a gun guy.
See,
And
I'm a
so-
gun guy, and that game looks amazing. I just can't play the same map over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
True.
Tarkov is a interesting game, as far as it goes, but as far as realism or game mechanics behind it, to me it just seems like a looter shooter. That's all it is. That's all Tarkov really is.
Well,
It's-
you're talking mechanics and like body armor and things. Like, you're either tanky or you're a wet noodle. Like, there's no in between.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
sweaty or you're not. And I mean, getting into firefights and moving tactically is a great thing. The fucking headsets that you get actually amplifying sound, that is a thing. It's crazy the amount of stuff that they were able to implement in the crafting and basically piecing together weapons. I mean, you can literally go on YouTube and find documentaries of people back in World War II taking weapons apart and building a certain gun just for certain combat zones. They literally like ripped different pieces of weapons apart and reassembled them. But
And you can pretty much do that.
and you can.
That's what drew me to it. Gun building simulator.
Yeah.
But it takes so much time to get in.
But there's a thing they'll never make a realistic game ever, because it's just it wouldn't sell. I hate to say it, there's such a small world that would accept a realistic game to the point where, like, you got one life and it's realistic hits. If you die, you die. There's nobody coming over.
The game
to save
uninstalls
you.
itself.
Fuck. And I
in
think
the
that's
tutorial.
why I think that's why I like that breakpoint, is because when you do, you're not coming back to where you're like, okay, my character dies, then and Tarkov kind of did that. I mean, if you die, you lose your stuff. Unless you have insurance and stuff on this one, unless you take the precautions of doing
There
it.
was a game that came out actually when I was in high school, and I can't remember the name of it, but you
Is your
actually
suit,
literally
Larry?
no, I mean that did, but it literally had like the introduction was boot camp and schooling. Like they had pamphlets that you had to read and this, that, and
Was it the Army
everything is-
game? Like the
America's
Army game?
The Army
AA?
of America. I had that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that
and
what
I
it
think
was?
as far as that went, that was about as close as you could get. But I watched, like, in high school, I watched my buddies just like skip, and then they get into the game like, I don't know what I'm doing. This game sucks.
Dialogue skipper. All you
Mhm.
dialogue skippers out there, just
I
get
think-
under my skin.
I think if somebody came out with a game where you got to choose, it was a fighting game. Let's say it was like Battlefield, but you had to build your character up So when you start off, you get to choose whether you want to go Air Force, Army, freaking Navy, Marines. So you pick out what route you want to go, and then you go through that training. And then once you get through that training, that's what opens up online. So you play like the first aspect of the game of choosing what path you want to take. And then after you graduate boot camp, that's when you can go do your battle royales or whatever you want to do throughout the game. Because I think that would be realistic. It gives you an aspect of the journey, how to get there, what path you want to take your character.
They could do that and incorporate some of the real-time strategy elements. Like, one of the Battlefield games had it where you didn't even have to be in the game. I think there was an app or something that you could use, and like, so you're in the commander position.
Yes.
So you could,
Hardline.
Hardline.
was it Hardline? Okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was one where you could, like, you didn't even have to
robbers.
Yeah, have anything. Like, you had the top-down view, and you could call it in. Like, whether they followed them or not, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But you could call the shots.
You could play
for the
commander also in Battlefield 4.
4 is the one I was thinking. Yeah, 4
Yeah,
was the one I
Battlefield
was
4 you
thinking
can play commander too.
of. And so, like, you weren't even, you could do that from wherever.
Yep.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
And so
And
that
so
I'd
I
like to
love
see
that aspect.
that, like what you're talking about, integrated with that could be really cool. I don't know if War Thunder does something similar to that or not.
I just don't know if there's a big enough. I mean, there's guys like us. There's definitely a community that would play the hell out of it. But everybody's gotten so used to, I hate to say it, the PUBGs, the Fortnites, the
battle royales,
Call of Duties have ruined our playing style. Like the playing style we grew up on through Bad
old
Company,
school Mill Sim.
yeah, are gone. And I don't know if we can. I mean, I hope it comes back around, because it seems like every 30 years, shit just kind of comes back around.
Yeah, history repeats itself.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just a perfect example. Listen to our music, and but it's just like, it's frustrating because I enjoyed those setups and doing that, having maybe like, dude, we thought it was like the biggest thing on earth when we had like a 30 on 30, and it's just like now they have 200 on 200, like 200 people on the fucking map, and you're like, holy shit. Which is amazing. I love seeing the shit unfold and it growing and it getting better, but I think is it taking away from the enjoyment that they're going to be able to have, and opening up? Is it opening up more doors than closing, or is it the other way around?
Well, there's that balance with that, and you hear people talk about that with Tarkov a lot. It's like, is this like, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of cool stuff, but am I actually having fun?
Yeah.
And there's that fun element that if it's not fun, then you're just going to have a few, assholes like us that are like, okay, well, we'll still grind through it. This isn't that much fun, but we're going to play together and we'll have fun with it. Like, that fun element is I think the kicker with it.
And
I mean,
I
at
think
that point,
that's the big
if
thing.
it's not fun, you find the bugs and you just sit there and make jokes about it, and
Yeah.
see if you can get yeeted across the entire map or something.
And with war games, it's hard, because if you look at the aspect, Call of Duty is a perfect example. Everybody nowadays is somewhat tech savvy, and they got to be. I mean, it's just the way our lifestyles are. But unfortunately, it's not like the old days where we were playing Contra and it was just like left, right, A, B, whatever. Now,
Down, left, right,
yeah,
left,
now,
right, A, B, start, select.
yeah, now they just download a program and they have auto headshots, and then now they're going to make everybody in that freaking world's life have a shitty
Miserable.
game.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even want to start talking about. I've been watching so many YouTube videos lately of people getting caught fucking cheating.
It's aggravating.
I mean, and it's everywhere. I mean,
It's
fun.
Unfortunately,
it's everywhere, even into the pro ESP stuff.
yeah, as a there's no way, and there's pretty much no game out there that somebody can cheat on. And it's shit. I play Farm Sim, and I even found hacks on that, and so of how to get money and how to do that.
Offline single player, I don't care. Do whatever you want to do, but when you're interfering with my very limited time to enjoy myself, that's gets me away from my responsibility. Then I'm gonna get pissed. and I can't do
mean,
anything about it, which pisses me off even more.
It's legitimately got to the point where Xboxes are being hacked.
Oh, I've
Like,
been
people are
forever.
hacking their Xboxes. I mean, in reality, it is just nothing but another computer, obviously. But I mean, you don't want to deal with somebody hacking when you're playing a military type game, if that's what you're into, and
Mhm.
it's just
Immersion.
it's fucking aggravating.
Yeah, it's
They don't
annoying
want
as
to take
hell.
the time to build the skill to get better in the game. They're just
Yeah.
like, fucking get shit on. Fucking, I don't even have to look. I don't even have to click my fucking mouse button on.
Yeah,
I just got to
Yeah.
run around and my guy's gonna spin on his own and shoot and dome somebody.
or the whole. I mean, Call of Duty was my last straw with that, to be honest. Especially on Xbox, guys out there with freaking the Nerf controllers and all this,
Mhm.
the add-ons. I mean, there's stuff that you can just plug and play, and it gives you like turns a shotgun into a semi-automatic shotgun now, and just by a push of a button, and it's just like it just takes all the fun out of it. And that's one thing I've noticed so much with these freaking bigger games, and it's just like that's what pushed me out of the radar games into games like Farm Sim and MMOs, and unfortunately we even seen it in the MMOs. We're going through that in New World right now, and it's just like
Wait.
people are in there glitching.
New World's out?
So
Oh, it
now?
comes
Been
out-
out, bro.
It comes out later on.
Actually,
Oh.
to be honest, I'm really still waiting for the release.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
so
just
it's
playing
not
New
out
beta.
World.
now. I thought it was out now.
It's out, but it's only in beta.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm
It's
so glad they get worked in.
you pay for early access, and it's like, okay, well, here's a patch, but this patch broke all of this shit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna shut all of it back off. And now that you're level 60, there's no way for you to make gold. There's no,
Yeah.
fucking fast traveling is pretty much a thing of the past because you just can't fucking do it because you're constantly having to farm all these things to just get a few tokens to fast travel. It's a very aggravating game, and honestly, I
Are you done?
kind of
Are you
kind of
done?
stepped away from it. Well,
Yeah, we both
it's
did.
it's got to get fixed.
Really, both of you?
Yeah,
yeah,
we both
I-
stepped away from it just to take it a break. We still love the game.
Yeah, I jumped on
just-
today to level with my wife. She's playing it and she was having a good time. And I was kind of explaining her, like the gear setups. It's like, you don't really ever want to equip gray stuff. You want to go green, blue, purple, or orange. I was like, you're not going to see orange until like level 60. Don't worry about it. Going over different stats of strength and intelligence and focus and all that. And I mean, even the PvP in the game, I've been running around flagged for PvP. I've been having a great time doing PvP. We recently transferred servers. The community over there is pretty decent. I think it only has an active of like 500 players a day.
Yeah, it's still pretty low.
Still very low, but it's a pretty decent. I mean, global chat's still fucking toxic as fuck, but
Well, that's just
Yep.
global chat
That's-
anywhere.
yeah, that's MMOs in general or anything that with a global or general chat. It's just gonna be, it is
Oh,
what it
yeah.
is. But yeah, like that was saying, as a veteran, I enjoyed playing war games. I fucking love war games. I love playing the simulations of them. In Hell Let Loose, I got told to be the platoon leader, the officer. I didn't really want it, but I did it anyways. I took command of it. They commended me on it, said I did a fucking hell of a job, and now that's just literally my fucking role when I play with other people. And it is a great experience, but the hacking and the cheating and all that has literally pushed me out of FPSs and into RPGs.
And it's just like, and I think another issue with gaming nowadays, supply and demand. Everybody's so anxious about pushing their name out. Perfect example, Cyberpunk. It's just like they released way too early, and then they're trying to accommodate a platform that shouldn't have been freaking accommodated. And it's just like they never should have. They should have just everything. everything should have shotgunned towards the new platforms coming out, either PC, the new Xbox, the new PlayStation. But when they start trying to accommodate everybody from across the board, they need to come up with the plan that you can't make everybody happy. It's like when we grew up, if we wanted a new game, they was either the old console or a new console. There was no intermixing.
You either got the Nintendo or the Super Nintendo. Your Super Nintendo was not backwards compatible with your fucking Nintendo.
Exactly. And they had so much less problems. Yeah, the graphics and stuff were lower, but at that time, that was where it was at. They need to start bringing that back. Quit trying to accommodate everybody. Make it cross-platform for the new shit. Fine. Okay, cool. But this last beta trip that they had with Battlefield, it went to shit because the Xbox Ones were having a problem because they couldn't load or whatever and all this stuff. I'm like, people need to learn from Cyberpunk. Quit trying to make every single person happy. Make the best game you can for the best platform that you can. Who cares that it can't go on back cancel? Are you going to piss some people off? Yeah, of course. But that's normal. But your outcome is going to be so much better in the long run than it would be trying to accommodate people that are still back here.
You ran into some Battlefield issues, didn't you, Guyver?
I couldn't even play it.
Yeah, it won't even,
on my
even load.
PC. Like I'd go in and it would just start auto firing, and then when you ran out of bullets, when I tried to fire again or like melee or anything, nothing. So I was just running around, like literally it was a, hey gentlemen, I'm over here, like just firing everywhere. And then I'd get sniped in like 3 seconds. And then I ended up spawning inside of I think it's either a helicopter or a jet. And then
I think you respawned
pilot
in the jet.
failed, and I got defaulted as the pilot, and I couldn't control it because it wasn't working, my controls. And so you see this. I regret everything. And I was on the ground. Like, yes, no, I couldn't even play it.
Less than stellar experience, I would say.
Less than stellar. That's why we'll see what happens this
At
Friday.
least you got in, because there are so many people that couldn't even get in, and that's them trying to accommodate everybody.
It's all about the bottom dollar.
Battlefield should be a new platform only. That's it. I mean, we're far enough into this that it needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a next gen game. They need to just make it for next gen consoles, or just I remember back in the day, even freaking you wanted to play a PC game. That's it. You want this game, it comes out for PC, and that's it. Go buy yourself a PC to play this freaking game.
Yep. And it's just like, I mean, it sucks because I enjoy the cross platform. It is a good idea, but whether we like it or not, PC will always have an advantage on console. It's just better settings, better stuff, and the opportunity to, you're going to get more of the cheaters and hackers through the PC because it's easier. I mean, it's simple to go in there and just screw with something and make it better. So, and as a console guy coming over to PC brand new, I understand that. I understand it, man. If I'm going up against the PC guy most likely will probably win 99% of the time. It's a better platform. You just can't deny it.
Better hardware.
Better hardware. I mean, it's faster. It's freaking, obviously it's got everything better in it. You got better response time, better be able to option other, unless you had the stupid dot on your TV. There was just no way around it.
You're talking about hackers. I can't remember if I sent you. I'm pretty sure I sent it to Props and maybe Guyver. This local kid that was selling his gaming PC, which it was mid-spec, low tier. You know what I'm talking about? I don't think I sent it to Vet. And so there's your typical Facebook computer posts like, oh, it runs everything at high settings and blah blah, and they don't really show you what's in the computer. But he sent a picture of his monitor, and on his desktop there's like the recycle bin, my files, Fortnite, and aimbot.bat. The batch file for his aimbot program right there on his fucking screen. Fortnite and aimbot. That's the only thing he had on his desktop. I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to buy your computer. I wasn't going to anyway, but
yeah,
Like that just, this kid's like 17, 18, whatever. And this was whenever we were playing, we got into Fortnite for like a week, me and Props, because my kid wanted me to play with her. And
Had all the skins, bro.
yeah, she still gave me shit over that. She's like, you bought the game or the battle pass and you hit stop playing. I was like, yeah, I don't want to play anymore because I can't think that fast. It hurts my brain. Try to play.
The building is like horrible.
Yeah. So we talked about like playing with groups and all this, and you guys kind of hit on it a little bit. And I know you started to pre-show, and I'm glad we stopped because I really want to hear you talk about it when we have it recorded. Playing with fellow veterans, so you guys playing together versus playing with civilians. Me and Chris, us guys.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally accurate. But
It is.
And
So,
this is going to be such a split world too.
Yeah, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
all right. So
It hurt
when
my
I
Goes, all right.
when I play games with UK Sig and you Guyver, it's just we're out fucking running, gunning, having a good fucking time.
Right.
Kasich, we were playing DayZ RP.
Mhm.
You were focused that direction. Always that direction, just straightforward.
Mhm.
I found I was the only person amongst the group that we were traveling with that would constantly kind of spin the camera around or spin my character around to check my 6. After a while, it's just like, okay, fuck it. That's right. I'm playing with Kasich and I'm playing with, these other guys. I was like, we're just out having a good time. Then I jump into games with Vet and it's, hey, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you got 2 guys moving down about half a click out. It becomes very militarized.
Yeah.
So there is a difference between playing with, regular, everyday, no offense, civilians than playing with a veteran or a military person. You're not going to see it in Call of Duty because, exoskeletons and jump packs and zip lines and
That ruined it.
So true.
That's where, that's where Call of
So
Duty got
true.
ruined for me. It was I remember the exact game. It was Advanced Warfare.
yeah,
It was like I'm done.
running on fucking walls and shit. And
Wall running and double jumps and like I can't and quick scoping. Don't even get me started on quick scoping. But like, yeah, I was done.
why did your name become called Mr.
Seen
Siffy?
that too.
This is what happens when Guyver has control of too much stuff.
All
You
right.
give Chris control of everything. Things get
What?
I
Yeah.
mean, to be fully honest, if you guys actually want to play a military game and you want to incorporate the military actions and maneuvers and everything, by all means, jump on in. I'm sure me and Vet wouldn't have a problem.
I would
Leaving us.
love to pull you guys in. Yeah, I'm the same way, and it's just I was the same one when before you ditched me on DayZ, Kasich.
What? I knew it was coming.
Dick, Kasich. Kyle?
To be fair,
Get called out.
going back on what Prop said, my character had 0 military background. I was playing that character on a roleplay server. It's the most accurate way. Bumbling biker dude.
Hey, I'll fix your broken leg any day. You know what?
You did a lot.
I was a true buddy. I went right off that hillside with you,
You fell a lot and broke a lot of bones.
and so
Lost a cabin.
Is that the one where you guys were, you're like, I have to think about something when you were doing something else, like doing real life stuff?
Yeah.
And then like you guys were going to the guys who were doing trading and they refused to trade your stuff. Like, no, wait, we got a helmet. And the guy's like, no, I got like 10 of these. And you're like,
I had the diving bell
No, you
helmet
don't.
and the
yeah.
yeah.
You guys were trying to argue with him that he didn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That was it. Okay.
then you got Harry, given our entire fucking location and everything that we have inside of our building. And
Yeah.
Props almost gets eaten by a bear for
And
the
I
second
got
time.
I got the end of that one because I had to sit there and defend the base overnight because they shot Harry in the face. And so, but yeah, I mean, it's just like Prop said, I was the same way. Whenever me and Casey were moving along. I was looking behind, I was looking over his shoulder, just making situation awareness and going around and crouching around corners and pieing corners and stuff like that. And dude, if we get in the game, like you said earlier, you'd love to play squad with us. I'd love to pull you in and teach you some of the aspects of how to maneuver the best we can through a PC game. I mean, and there's definitely ways you can do it.
Head on a swivel.
That'll be advantage. Yeah. And obviously there's some things that you can't do. But you can still understand the tactics and maneuver them into some way of a gameplay.
Well, that's going to take time working together as a squad too, playing that. I back in like the Miscreated and like DayZ PvP days, I had a group that like we communicated well, very, very well, and very methodical, very precise. And that, I think that's just part of it, is playing together.
Yeah.
And knowing your team and you know, you guys being able to relate that over. I think that's big. Like I missed that. I used to do that a lot. That was fun. That was really fun. Like we were decent because we communicated and we knew how to communicate, and we knew how to communicate without saying anything. Like we just knew what that guy was going to do. So
That's
I would like to get back into some of that.
I would love to get there with you guys, and to be honest, I mean,
And-
it's just like, I think it'd be fun.
You just said you knew what that guy was gonna do. Case in point, where me and Vet were playing Breakpoint. He was my Overwatch. Like there was no real communication. He saw me. He was looking down scope at me, and he's like, "Okay, he's moving through. He's clearing. All right, you got a guy, you know, a couple steps up on your right behind a Connex box or something like that. All right, he turned around. You're clear. Move."
Yep.
I didn't even tell him I was going. He just saw it, and he's
Mhm.
like, "All right, I got you.
He knew what to do.
Post it up."
Or he'd be walking through, like, where are these guys? And I'd be popping him in the head as he was maneuvering through.
Mhm.
He'd be walking up, oh, there's a dead body. Oh, there's a dead
Yep.
body.
Just
And
follow
so
the dead
I would-
bodies to the gold. There you go.
Yeah. And so it's just like, understand. I think that's the biggest thing, is just playing, just linking and reading and understanding how each other play. Some guys are aggressive, some guys are non-aggressive. I would be called a camper, because I love to be able to overwatch. I love seeing the whole picture instead of just running in there and running gun and burning the place to the ground.
Play the long game.
Yeah, I love, dude, there was missions in Breakpoint that would take me and Props like an hour and a half just to clear a freaking compound.
I mean, we could have done it in 5, but
Oh yeah. But like tackling, predicting our movements of, okay, I can go here. Hey, I don't have an Overwatch on this. What do I have in front of me? And I'd be able to tell him, hey, you've got it. I'd be able to walk him out 4 or 5 steps
mhm.
ahead of where he's at. So he understood, I knew where he was going. And then it was just like very little
Right.
communication, but understanding.
Yep, there's a guy up here. I can't get sights on him. Just, be careful.
Yep.
All right. 10-4.
And so, and just knowing where we're at on the map. And that's, yeah, we've got that training. But like you said, Case, like when you start playing with somebody and you have that time invested into each other, you just get to know your partners in crime of how they're moving, what they're going to do. Okay, you know what? When we take a compound, I know so-and-so is going to do this. So-and-so is going to do this. Props gets tired of probably hearing me talk about this, about pretty much all the aspects of we play. Is just like, everybody's got a purpose. Who's our, like, especially if it's combat game, who's our medic? Who's our long gun? Who's our short gun? Who's going to clear the rooms? Who's our breacher side? Stuff like that. And it's just like, everybody on the team has to have a purpose, because if somebody wants to be a lone wolf or somebody just wants to run a gun while we're trying to play tactically, it's going to go to shit, and the team's going to get frustrated and you're not going to play very well.
Yeah,
But if everybody understands their roles, no matter, even we even pulled that into New World of understanding roles, who our healers are, who our heavies are, who our DPSs are. It kind of blends into any game out there pretty much, that you can think of. There's just
Yeah, I mean,
understanding and having a job.
It goes down to basic mechanics. Know
Mhm.
your role. Communicate. Keep the lines clear.
Yeah.
Stop fucking off in it. No.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm-
and you guys can even pull it into your spooky Saturdays. It's just
Mhm.
like, okay, and you guys kind of do. You get kind of an understanding of who is going to bring in the book, who's going to bring the flashlight, who's going to bring the camera, who's going to
Yeah.
stuff like
Who's
that.
going to be the first to die?
Yeah, who's who's going to be the bait? And so
Who's
it's like,
in what room doing what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just like, are we clearing left to right? Okay, when we go in there, and you can look at that game tactically, and that's how I looked at it. And it's just like when I go in there, we are going left on everything. So when you go in there, you clear the first room on the left. When you go through that first room on the left, you go through the door and you bank it left, and you go all the way around that room. That way, when you come out, you know that room's completely searched, or you've done whatever you need to do on it.
See, the way Props would play that game was K-Sig would go in and Props would stand in the window on the porch from the outside looking like, yeah, you're doing great. I don't see anything. Oh yeah, there's a dude with an axe. Yeah, no, you're fucked.
Was
Sorry,
I
buddy.
did that in Phasmo, didn't I? Like the
That's what I was
first
talking
house
about.
we,
Phasmo. Yeah.
the very first time we played together, he's in the bedroom. He's like, "Where are you?" And I'm outside the window.
He's talking to me
What
on the
the
radio,
fuck?
and I look, and all I see is just these two eyes looking through the window from the outside, and he's just watching like, "Yeah, you're doing great." Like, what the fuck? And then I died. I'm pretty sure I died pretty close to after that when we first found out like the ghost had an axe. He's like, "He's got an axe, bro."
Yeah.
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 Our first few runs,
Times
not very tactical.
not very tactical at all.
A lot of panic, a lot of chaos, a lot of dying, a lot of peeing myself likely on that.
So, but then the aspect on that is, I think that's where, as a military side, I enjoy playing with civilians because they do stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
funny as a veteran to look out and watch somebody Leroy Jenkins a room and just get absolutely obliviated sometimes, because it's just like,
Mhm.
that was funny shit.
You're talking about when we play Breakpoint again, aren't you?
Yeah,
Bring that
we
back up.
see
Okay,
it
yeah.
coming.
Making sure. Like, where are you at? I'm in the middle of it.
And we see it, and you see it coming, and it's just like, because I like Props. I love first person shooters. I absolutely love them. I'm going through a phase right now. Me and Props were just talking about this, where I'm playing Far Cry 6, where I want to get trigger time, and it's just like, man, and it's just, I enjoy the trigger time. But
Sometimes you just want to shoot some shit.
yeah, exactly.
Not shoot the shit. I also want to do that, but also shoot shit.
Yeah, and have like a tactical, and I think it's driven. There's some people out there that like it, and there's some people out there that don't.
You're-
Some people.
I mean, I got this new PC, and right now it's very lacking in the games right now.
No, all you do is just download them. You just download more games. Just download all the
Well,
games.
I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Always so
I have
simple for Kyle.
I have 6 games on this computer. 7. My bad. I have 7 games.
New World, Hell Let Loose. Let me see if I can get some. Phasmo
Police
might still
Simulator.
be on there.
New World's out on that?
New World's out now.
New World's out now.
You got
New
Police
World, Hell
Simulator
Let
on that one?
Loose.
Wait, what'd you say? I got what?
Police Simulator.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot about that one. GTA and Red Dead.
What's the other two?
What's the other two?
Um,
Haunted
through mine.
Harry's, Home Improvement.
Start Splitgate,
Oh,
and you got Back for Dead or whatever. Yeah,
Back
Back
for
for
Blood.
Blood.
Back for Blood.
Look at him.
I
We got
gotcha.
it. Nice. We
Ben,
gotta
do
get
I
some more
talk to you
games.
on a regular?
We got to get some more games in.
We
I
may
miss
have a
that.
relationship.
Yeah, I'd love to play more games with y'all, but you guys jump through games like fucking fat
Yeah.
guy eating Skittles.
Please
I am
find
a
a
fat guy that
game.
eats Skittles, so
Please find a game and stick with it for like more than a month.
my
Or-
ADD kicks in, and Hell Let Loose. I could see that possibly happening.
Well, I think because Guyver, you're a big Battlefield fan, right? So I'll be
Love
playing
Battlefield.
Battlefield with you on that.
Yeah, I love Battlefield.
I'll never not hate Battlefield. I'll hate some of the tactics in Battlefield and some of the people, but I'll never hate Battlefield.
I might give Battlefield a run then if there's something we can all get together on. And like Battlefield 4, I played for like a good solid 7 months on PlayStation.
I played forever for Battlefield 4. I would love to get a game with you guys. I do know one. Actually, Guyver, man, if you like Battlefield, you would probably like Breaking Point.
Very similar.
Yeah, very similar. We can even do 4-man squads.
I think
and
it's
all
on
that.
Game Pass too, so
Oh,
you
is
may
it
not even
really?
have to get it.
Yeah.
Hello.
If you have a Ubisoft account, it's free.
Hmm.
That's how I got Far Cry 6. It's free too.
I'm pretty sure I have that.
And so if you get it, let me know. I would love to play that with you. That's Breakpoint and Wildlands are probably legitimately my favorite games, other than Far Cry. I'm a huge Far Cry fan.
I'm pretty sure I'm almost at the point to where I got more launchers on my computer than I do games.
It sounds like you probably do.
Yeah.
I'm almost there
We do
too.
go through a lot of games, but they're little cheapo games.
Mhm.
They are, and
It's
so it's hard for me not to give a shitload of time into a game. I think that's my problem. I'm one of those that if I get a game, I'm getting it with a purpose, like Far Cry and freaking New World and Wildlands and stuff like that. I love something that's going to mentally challenge me and all that. I love that aspect of when I'm playing it, I'm constantly having to think of a couple steps forward of the storyline. If it's a short storyline or if it's a repeatable game, it's hard for me to get into it.
Mhm.
Um,
It's like a lot of the stuff that we're doing, like the Phasmo and the Ghost Runner.
it is.
Like
I mean, I would
about
love
40
to
hours in, you're kind of you've hit all the content, and then it's
Yeah.
just getting good at doing the same thing.
Yeah, I love the long term than short terms, and I think that's what kind of sets me out, and I have a harder time getting in because I enjoy watching the games you guys are playing, but I can spend one day and touch base on every single thing in those games.
Mhm.
I want something I can spend, like Red Dead 2 was fucking amazing.
Because you could spend
It takes
literally
days.
a year in there and only be in the first part.
So I beat the game in 10 days.
I
Damn.
beat it in under a week.
Yeah, the first time. And it's just,
Mhm.
I legitimately sat down, and the first time I went through, I just played the main mission. Second time I went through, I did all the side missions, all this other stuff. And it took forever.
Oh, I did the side missions. I got 98% completion on my first time through. I think it was something like that. Like it
Yeah.
was
Go
it was up in the 90s.
And
Did
that
you go back
game,
and 100% it?
I couldn't because I fucked up on camp number 2 and I forgot to pick up one fucking flower resource and give it to the lady.
I hate that.
and so those kind of games are phenomenal. And I remember talking when I first got diagnosed with PTSD and TBI. I remember talking with my therapist, and he was saying trying to find games that stimulate my mind like that will help me in the long run. And it surprisingly, it really does. It allows me to kind of have it's kind of like me and my woodworking or fly fishing or fly tying props in his building. Guyver, probably kind of like you're not at work but working with computer stuff. It's
Right.
soothing. It allows you to have somewhat of a reset in your life, and it's relaxing. You can shut everything down.
Oh,
That-
it keeps
Take
your
your
hand
mind
in
off
your
of real life.
keeps your hand and your brain busy.
Exactly. It allows you to be triggered outside and have a complete reset mind, and then once it's in your mind, it's a physical thing too. It relaxes your body. You're not pissed off. You're not thinking about the freaking anything other than
Mhm.
I've got to do this next mission. This is awesome.
It's kind of like carry on
Um,
that for a little bit. 'Cause what we had here on the list, like the last thing we were going to hit, and I think that carries over to it really well. You have project that you work. I've seen the videos. We've all seen the videos, at least in our little circle here, and we'll try to put some links out to that. I mean, there's a reason other than you like fly fishing. Why Fly Fishing Vet is your handle on all socials and things like that. And you're talking about PTSD and TBI, and outlets and keeping your hands busy and your mind busy and doing things and not always around a physical social environment. Talk about that a little bit and what you have going with that, and so our listeners can get a little insight to that.
For sure. So I made a couple films, both are under fly fishing. I started fly fishing I started full-time fly fishing in 2015. I initiated fly fishing when I was in the TBI clinic in 2012 when I was still up in at Fort Drum in New York. Didn't really know what route I was going to take in 2010. Got home, went through really dark patch, and it sounds weird and weird to say, but fly fishing saved my life, legitimately more than once. It allowed me to take the war out of my head and put it on the water. And I explain a lot of it in the films. And like Case said, I'll make sure you guys get the links to those. No matter what, if you're a veteran, doesn't matter if, like myself, if you're combat related, like props, if you're not combat, like when I say combat, I mean like pulling the trigger out on the front lines. Everybody's in combat when you're going over there. It doesn't matter if you're on a ship, if you're in the fob, if you're out in some crazy AO, or you're just setting up an OP on the side of the road. Everybody has their own combat and everybody deals with it differently, but everybody still sees it. And some people can brush it off pretty good, and some people hide it really, really well. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your life experiences are. If you've ever been to combat, it's going to change you. It changes everybody differently, though. For me, it was pretty rough when I got out. It's hard to. It's not even hard. It's almost impossible to just walk away and shut it off. It will be with you for the rest of your life. And it's one of those crazy things. If you ever ask a vet, if no matter how hard it gets, you never change it. I'd go back and do it in a heartbeat. I would change anything that ever happened to me personally. But fly fishing was able to take the war I have in my head and put it on the water by using techniques that I've learned through the military and through my experiences, and putting them into fly fishing, like how to recon water. I mean, it's just like, it'd be just like reconning a mission. I'm reading topo maps. I'm taught myself how to read the water, like what kind of buckets, what kind of riffs, where's a good spot, what's soft water for the fish to sit in, how's it oxygenated, what's the water flow, stuff
Where's
like
the
that.
back eddies?
Yeah, where's your back eddies? What's the structure on the bottom of the river like? Is it man-made? Is it freaking nature? Do we have obstacles in the water? And we take everything in consideration: weather, what the pressure is in the air, how hot it is, what's the temperature of the water and the
Temperature
air.
of the water is a big thing.
Oh yeah. So I mean, there's a lot to it once you really get into it. So that was my recon side. And then I'd be like, okay, how can I implement patrolling? Well, every time I cast and my fly's in the water, that's technically patrolling. I'm patrolling the water like I would patrol the roads in Iraq. And then, so you patrol all these areas where you think there might be a bad guy. And then when you hook the fish, that's your firefight. And that's like a firefight in real life. And it's just like, it might go on for 30 seconds. It might go on for 10 minutes. You get that rush and just mentally through your body, you get that freaking just drop. And then when you get done with that, you get the fish in, you release the fish. Well, I tell my combat guys and anybody, what do you do after a firefight? PCIs and PCCs, you check your gear. Okay, where am I at in ammo? Well, now I'm looking at How's my fly? Is everything good? Does it look like a freaking I just threw up and everything's in a knot? Do I need to fix that? Is my net back with me? Am I ready to go patrol again? And then you start it all over again. So I was really able to use the skill sets that I was taught into fly fishing and benefit off of that. And it cleared my head. I mean, there's such a sense of peace out there because I've been blessed to be able to be in some situations where I'm pretty sure that no human being has been there probably for like 100 years. And to see these areas and where I live at in the Pacific Northwest is absolutely beautiful. I'll be up there and you see these huge Douglas firs and big mountains, and I've had elk walk up next to me, like on the other side of the river, having a herd of elk. I remember sitting at Yellowstone one time. I was the only dude on the side of the road. I made my wife pull over and I wanted to go over and fly fish it. I wasn't even paying attention to behind me. I was just fishing. And there was a herd of elk across the road from me. And I realized that, dude, this is an amazing and so peaceful. And unfortunately, I turned around and I had like 50 cars behind me sitting there watching me fly fish. But it was just like, it allowed me to get out of everything that was going through my head. I was stressed because we were in a park and all this stuff. And all that was gone. And it was just like, it was so peaceful. And so I joined up with a 501c3 that's called Project Healing Waters. And they taught me how to tie my own flies, how to build my own rods. And they're a great organization. They're nationwide. Actually came up through the ranks from being a veteran to being a volunteer to all the way up to being an assistant lead. And they've given me opportunities through the sport that I would have never had an opportunity to do anywhere else, or have the option to have the equipment or do the link ups that I'm able to do. And I love it. I mean, there's multiple organizations out there. And I always encourage my guys and that are going through this. It doesn't matter what aspect or what route you want to go. But find one, whether it's prop making, whether it's hunting or fishing, that stuff that you have will give you a skill set, which
yeah,
a skill set will save your life. And this is how I look at an aspect is, as a male and growing up old school, we've always been taught, well, the males need to do the male things. It's like you supply for your family, you fix the truck that needs to be fixed, you do this and that. Well, when you take that away, it can break a man. And if you don't, and then so that's why I look at it like the people need a skill set, whether it's a woman or a male. They need a skill set to give them a purpose.
Right.
And with me, fly fishing and woodworking has done that. It gives me a purpose. And so whenever I feel like, I went from being the cool guy, I went from being the coolest and the best I will be in my whole entire life. Doesn't matter. I mean, even being a firefighter for 20 years, I went from retiring out of the fire department after 20 years, not being able to do my job in the Army anymore after 10, to a stay-at-home dad with no job. And I was just like, what the hell is my purpose? I mean, it's just, yeah, it's a dad, which, don't get me wrong, I love being a dad. And a lot of people are like, well, dad's important. It is important, but as a veteran, it sounds like a dick, but it doesn't satisfy. It doesn't satisfy that itch that needs to be itched. Don't get me wrong, I would never change any. I would literally give everything I have right now for my kids. It doesn't say it's. I'm not saying I don't love my kids any less than the next guy. I just have a mental capacity of what I need to do, and I have to keep that busy, because if I can't feel that, then I can't be the best me. If I can't be the best me, how can I be the best father? And
Well-
so woodworking and fly fishing allow me to fill that gap that probably a standard, I don't want to say a standard, probably what another person would feel like if they had a job and they were bringing food on the table. I'm working. I can put food on the table and do all that. Well, with my disability, with my social security income, with my VA income coming in, I can't go get a job to fill that because it would take away from that money. Well, I'm not going to take money away from my kids, so I can't go get a job. So like I said, woodworking and fly fishing has given me the opportunity to do that, fill that gap, and heal me to be able to become a better father and a better husband for my wife and kids. And so that's my organization.
Well, and it's
Good stuff.
very important what you just said. All that you have to. You're not gonna be able to take care of your family if you're not in the right state of mind.
Yeah.
So you gotta find. I think that's important for all of us, not just veterans, is to find the right mindset to where it's a healthy environment. But I think it's even more so for you all.
And so, and it
So
is.
that's-
What do you mean by
kinda
you
what I'm hearing.
people?
Yeah, you
You
people,
people, you guys down
you know,
there.
you people, the guys with hats, the hat people.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
yeah. K-Sig, you're a hat people now.
Hat people, hat people.
I mean, I'd have to agree with them. It's, I don't know much, for vet, but my mind is my worst enemy. And I'm sure that goes for just, I mean, not even non-veterans. If you're given alone time and you go inside your head, mine's a dark fucking place. So I get hobbies, and my wife made a joke one day that said my hobbies have hobbies. That's how many hobbies I have. Cause
True.
I see something and I'll be like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I don't half-ass it. I buy everything I need and I don't get the cheap shit, and I do it. Leather hat. I taught myself how to do leather work and I stitched a leather hat together by hand. The prop building, it's just hours and hours and hours of researching and collecting and doing that. 3D printers and 3D printing and 3D modeling. I've done that. Hell, I went and bought a forge and taught myself how to bladesmith because I wanted to learn how to make my own knives. During one storm, I bought a chainsaw and I had to cut up some logs and stuff. And then I was like, hey, I'm going to chainsaw carve. So I watched videos on how to chainsaw carve, and I went out and carved a bear out of a log.
Shit,
my
I never thought
chainsaw.
I'd hear anyone say, "I'm gonna take a chainsaw carving."
Yeah.
You
I-
can-
Okay.
Dude, it's
I-
so funny how like vets like myself and props are constantly trying to find the next thing to keep them busy. And
Yeah.
there's a list. There must be a list of shit. Because it's like a lot other than the prop making stuff. It's just like, yep. I'm just saying, I'm sitting here thinking, yep, my chainsaw's sitting over there.
Yeah.
You're like, I got a
that's
log
sitting over
somewhere.
there.
I mean,
Somebody's
had-
getting a bear for Christmas.
I've had several motorcycles. I go on motorcycle rides. I got canoes. I go canoeing. I went and bought I got a fly fishing rod because I met Vet and he talked about fly fishing.
Have you
It'll
used
happen.
it?
No.
It's
No, I
going to
haven't.
happen. That is
I-
going to happen. You're
He just
going to
goes,
be getting
"No."
a box of flies and it's
Unfortunately,
gonna
where I
happen.
am at, it's a lot of ocean. I'm on the coast.
You know what?
So-
I got saltwater flies. I'll teach you.
Yeah, I hate
I
saltwater
figured he had
fishing.
an answer
I
for
hate
that.
I hate saltwater fishing with almost a fucking passion.
Oh, it's a whole
And
new ball game with freaking
It's a whole
fly
new
rod.
fucking ball game and I hate it. But yeah, I mean, hell, some of you guys know you met me through the RP community. I mean, like I said, if I'm not doing something with my hands, I gotta I have to. I have to do it. I
Yep.
taught myself how to basically take Grand Theft Auto and make it into what I want. Like I can literally go in, grab a building. If I don't like it there, I get fucking rid of it.
Props like tricked me into trying to teach myself graphic design.
Oh, yeah. Designing shit on computers
Why
through
do you sound
Photoshop
down when
and
you say that?
everything.
There's a key trick.
It's because he's been using paint
Graphic design.
No, it was like
and he couldn't figure out how to get
There
it
was-
off the spray paint
no,
feature.
it all started with that Legion's goddamn fucking spawn flag. And
Oh, that's
and we
right.
sat up one night until like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I picked your brain on how you're doing what you're doing. And then next thing I know, I shit out like 5 days that I cannot get back of full time sitting there in front of the computer trying to teach myself how to do all this shit.
Shit looks sweet though.
It came out good. And so
I mean, you sat and made a bunch of different like little emojis and whatnot for your Discord channel and everything. So
yeah, so it was great. And so I agree with props. It's all about just what's the next freaking challenge.
what's the next obstacle? What's the next challenge?
I love it.
Where can we go next?
Yep.
So that's and another thing that'll draw us into, and I think the thing that drew me into RP subconsciously, not even thinking about it, was where can I get that brotherhood again? Where can I link that friendship up? I mean, I was a firefighter for 20 years. I've always had some kind of brotherhood. I mean, it's just like whether it was firefighting or army or now gaming, and then in an RP. I mean, I can definitely see that in RP. I was like, once again, when Kasich bailed on me,
God, I'm never gonna live that down.
DayZ
Don't
was
fucking
fun
bail on him.
because we could because it's. But I look forward to the future of RP.
Him not bailing on you?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
of
the
not
RP can
being
be
dicked on.
extremely therapeutic on multiple levels. I mean, I won't go into that here, but props knows.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, on many levels. Like, it's hard to explain. We don't have. That's a whole nother.
That's
show.
another episode. But you're
Yeah.
doing great at trying to explain it, Kyle.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
job.
And that's something I'm looking forward to. I'm actually excited. Me and props talk about it quite a bit.
Yeah. You can really work through some shit.
Yeah, and it gives you that opportunity where, once again, as a veteran that doesn't necessarily deal with society and is very social, it gives me an opportunity and a chance to be social again, to kind of feel normal.
Yep.
And I think that's across the gaming field, whether you're RPing or playing Battlefield. I think that's what draws a lot of veterans to gaming, because it allows us to be comfortable. It allows us to kind of have a sense of feeling like when we were before whatever happened to us.
Yeah.
And it's just like it kind of brings back childhood memories. It brings back happy stuff. And it kind of clears the head. It puts us in a zone where we never thought we'd be with gaming. We never thought gaming would do this, but it's there. And we strive for it. We strive to have that feeling. So how can we do that? Well, we find games, we find the people, we're drawn towards the people that make us happy. And when it clicks, it clicks. I mean, look at the four of us. This all started by Twitch channels. I mean, I met you guys all just by jumping in K6. Well, jumping in K6, it brought me over to Guyver. Once all that linked up, it brought me up to props. And it's just like the community and the doors that it opens is amazing. And I would even say to the point where gaming, if put in the right situation, just like fly fishing and woodworking, definitely saves somebody's life. 100%. I mean, it's just it'll allow somebody to notice. I mean, we fight our demons every day. It matters how we fight them when we wake up. we wake up and we're automatically right there, whether we like it or not. But like, perfect example, a couple months ago, I was going through a rut, got really quiet all across freaking the platforms. I had you guys freaking hit me up. Hey man, just seeing how you're doing. Just doing that, letting
I
a
think
civilian know.
I
and
sent you a
saves-
message a few times saying, "Hey man,
Yeah.
ain't heard from you in a while. Just checking to see if you're all right."
And I will let you know right now. Just taking 5 seconds out of the day. It doesn't even have to be another vet, just anybody. Taking 5 seconds out of the day could save somebody's life. 100%. And it's just because, like when I got that, Guyver, I know you sent it, Props, I know you sent it. I might not respond. I'm horrible at responding sometimes. Seeing that brings joy. Just, oh yeah, that's right. There are people out there that are genuine friends and wanting. They're not just there because you have a cool channel and they like what you're doing and they really don't know yet. No, these guys, they've known you guys know me for a while. You hit me up, hey, just want to let you know we're here. How you doing? And dude, that's just reaching out to your battle buddies is super important. And you don't have to be a vet. You don't have to be anybody. I mean, everybody out there, I know this is all for the Veterans Day, but dude, this kind of shit hits civilians, firefighters, police officers, veterans, nurses, freaking a donut maker. I don't care. I mean, everybody's can be hit with this, and so we need to make sure that as a human race that we're looking out for each other. And it's just like, so if you got a buddy that goes dark, just hit him up. Just say hi. Just saying hi and just giving them shit can make the best of a day, and you not even know it and stuff. So it's kind of shit we gotta look out for. Kind of start having each other's back. So
Which is awesome.
Very true.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. We like to come to this part of the show and we call it "What are you watching?" or "What are you reading?" Let's start with Vet. What are you watching or what are you reading this week?
well, I'm from Oregon, so we know I don't read. Just what am I watching right now? I think I just finished up Bones, to be honest. I was watching Bones. We're a big
The one on the Spice Channel or the Fox? channel?
Pornhub.
Oh, Pornhub.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so-
gotcha.
On the old hub. Yep.
Yeah. It's I think we're getting ready to watch. My wife picked one out. I think I forget what the heck it is, Precision or something like that, about some crazy dude in that college that helps cops. And so, but yeah, we just finished up Bones. All freaking goddamn, what is it? 12 seasons? 10
There's a
seasons?
lot.
This goes on forever.
That's a cool show.
Oh, I
It
love
is.
the show.
Damn cool show. But there's a lot.
Yeah, definitely a lot.
Props. What are you watching or reading this
I
week?
bet it's One Piece.
No, I again wrap that up. Last week I binge watched all of Seinfeld show, the old Seinfeld show. And I was perusing Netflix actually this morning, and I found out that Cowboy Bebop was on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching Cowboy Bebop.
In preparation for next week,
What's coming next week?
the live action, or 2 weeks. It actually looks pretty decent. John Cho as Spike.
That's so sketchy.
I think I've got hopes for it. I've got hopes.
Live actions are so sketchy.
They are, but John Cho is a fan of the show, so I'm hoping that they hold true.
But is everybody else a fan of the show?
I
I
don't
mean,
think the girl who played Faye's ever seen it. So,
Oh my god.
but
Okay.
Ein looks like Ein. Like you already see, like episode 2. It's the one where they get Ein. So I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
well, who's
I'm trying to
playing
stay
Ed?
positive. I don't know if there is an Ed.
By the way, Ed's a girl.
Ed is girl.
It is girl.
Ed's a
soon as
little
you-
girl.
I'm not gonna lie to you. As soon as you said Ed, I was just thinking of Ed and Eddie. That's all I thought about.
Ah, hello, Ed boy.
Buttered toast, Eddie.
Oh yes, hello, Ed boys.
God, whatever happened to like cartoons, man?
No, there's
Imagine
you
them-
gotta dig. They're there.
Can
Oh,
you
they're
imagine
there.
them trying to pull
Oh, they
Ren and
wouldn't- they
Stimpy
would not
into
make-
nowadays?
They wouldn't. No.
Hey, no, you can just on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
miss-
last season of Squidbillies is tonight. We're recording on a Sunday, and it's without the main character after his
Hmm.
series of tweets. But
Mm.
now he's a new voice. But yeah, no, it's if you like Ed, Ed and Eddie, it's they put all of that on HBO Max. Like,
Oh, yeah.
all
HBO
the
is like
good
the
stuff.
only one I don't have.
well, it sounds like Kyle needs to buy it for you. Kyle, what
Maybe.
are you reading or watching this week?
So the only thing
Not
that I've
One
got to watch,
Piece.
not One
Oh
Piece.
yeah, why aren't you watching One Piece?
Look, okay, so I'm gonna rewind back to Cowboy Bebop about why I don't watch One Piece, because I started watching Cowboy Bebop like 6 months ago or so. It was one of my homework assignments from Guyver there, and I have this condition called anime interruptus, where I get about halfway to 3/4 of the way through a series, and then something else gets my attention, and I don't finish it.
It's called Squirrels.
Happens
Bowel
every time.
obstructions.
No.
So many,
It's called
so
a
many
Chico
shows.
moment.
He said you suck.
I know.
That is a Chico moment.
That's a Chico moment.
So, oh, okay. I remember who Chico is now. I was like, do I know? Okay. Like, I feel like I vaguely-
I'm pretty sure he had a stroke at my house at one point in time
100%.
during the New World
100%.
splurge.
But there's just like, there's so many I start and I don't finish. And then I want to go back and like, I do want to finish them and I forget everything that happened. So I have to start all over at the beginning again. Like I've done that with Death Note. I don't know how many times. But
Welcome to my world.
little bit I did get to watch is, well, you got an excuse though. Like,
I've seen CSI, the whole entire setup, 5 times and still don't remember that shit.
like, yeah, you get a reason. Like, I don't.
Vet
It
goes,
just-
wait, CSI's on TV?
CSI's out now?
Bet you're
I
a
haven't seen that one.
goldfish.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the story of my life.
I
Oh,
knocked out the only thing I got to watch this week. I watched 2 episodes of Star Wars Visions. Me and little guy
still gotta
watched them,
finish.
and I think what was the last one I watched was the Twins episode, which I thought was really cool. There's some stuff in it. I was like, how are they doing all that? They're talking in space. Oh, okay, well, we're doing the anime thing, so that makes a little bit more. Like you just had to suspend a whole lot of disbelief, or a lot of whatever. But I thought it was pretty cool.
Cowboy Bebop is 26 episodes. How can you not finish that?
And a movie.
I started watching it today, and I'm on episode 12 already.
To be fair, Kyle had to stop and masturbate.
Yeah, I mean that
That's
was
almost like a tease, though. That's like Firefly. That was just a tease. You
Oh,
just got,
Firefly.
an
Talking about the
amazing,
show
an
or me stopping
amazing
to
show.
masturbate?
Yeah, an amazing show and a movie, and then they stop.
Both.
both. Made a show out of
He
it.
calls
But
it a Firefly.
yeah,
today.
I'm a little Firefly.
Fucking Space Cowboys. How can nobody love that?
It's really exciting for a
such
little
a
while,
great
then it just
show.
ends too quickly. That's pretty much the synopsis of my show.
Um,
And Fox also canceled it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's
Can't
where I'm
stop
at. But
the
I'll probably fire. I didn't know that it was 2 weeks out, so that might be the thing that I watch this week. I've got like 2 weeks to watch stuff, and then I'm gonna be hopefully in the woods off and on for like 2 weeks, trying to hopefully shoot some antlered
Damn,
animal.
your guys' season's late. Ours is already going.
yeah, ours is.
It's
actually,
black powder right now, archery and black powder right now. But I won't get to go until rifle.
Bet it's
Yeah.
gonna be 80 here on Wednesday.
Dude, it is 44 degrees right now.
I was gonna say it's like 46 the
dumping
other
rain.
day.
No, it's gonna be 80 here. It was 37 this morning.
So
It's gonna be in the 70s to 80s this week,
Yeah.
and then at night it goes down to the 30s.
Rip
It
my
just
sinuses and
rains.
allergies. That's
Yep.
for damn sure.
Yep.
Where are you watching,
Um,
Guyver?
I have been watching. We finally finished up The Boys. Last episode of The Boys. Finally got some time to do that. And then we've been powering through Doom Patrol, which I love that show. It is so messed up. And they've already renewed it for next season. But the show, when you see Brendan Fraser banging, like his bare ass is banging the maid on the first episode, cussing at her, you're like, this is going to be good.
Mhm.
So he turns into a robot.
I was hoping he'd turn into a caveman again.
Like in an Encino Man.
When he was going at it, was he just like, meat group?
He's
Meat
like,
group.
ah, ah, ah. We've been watching some Doom Patrol, trying to power through that so we can get through season 2. Stargirl
Don't-
next, and then they
Don't
started
ever
Lock and Key.
describe a celebrity sex scene again.
You're obviously not listening much.
That was
That
our
was our,
episode 26.
yeah, that was my dick joke for the night. I got one in there.
You gotta have at least one.
Waka-cha.
So,
That's what we're watching.
have you guys seen that one show 11/22/63?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, and I want to, and I haven't.
I
good.
haven't even heard of it.
It's really good.
11/22/63.
It has oh crap, I just went blank and forgot his name. Was Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen,
No,
James Franco.
James Franco.
James Franco.
Is it a new one or is it old?
It's new.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
on
he's still getting
Hulu.
work.
And so it's really, really well done.
What's it on?
Hulu. Hulu
Okay, I'm gonna have
made
to
it.
check it out.
And so I don't want to give any away because it's even just kind of mention it's about a guy that goes back in the future though. He can go back and forth.
Is his name
Okay.
Marty?
No.
Damn it. I've seen that one.
Jake.
Does he have an old man companion friend?
He does.
I think I've seen the first 3 movies then.
and but it's put together really well. And so I can give it not to give it away, but his whole goal is to go back and stop the assassination of JFK.
Wow.
And so
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it
Double
out.
goal.
yeah, I think there's like 8 episodes, but it's pretty slick.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
Mhm.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having us.
With that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. Wherever you guys are, have a great night, evening, morning, whatever time it is. And please be good to each other.
See ya.
See ya.
Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up word. MCs shied away.